Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another DVD update. Of course, it's been a while, but got the right time because I got another nice selection of DVDs right here, and I got a couple. I got a lot, some more old ones, and I got a few new ones. So let's start with the old ones. Okay, and let's put this one here. First off, is a sequel. Is a comedy sequel, which I think it's a pretty I would say it's a pretty more than decent. I would say it's a pretty fun. I would say it's a funny sequel, and that is is Airplane 2: The Sequel. I enjoy it. The first film Airplane, classic, considered one of the best comedies ever. I enjoy the first Airplane. Leslie Nielsen, great debut for his first comedic role. Robert Hayes, Peter Graves, Julie Haggerty, and for the sequel, Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty they both come back, and Peter Graves too, and same with Lloyd Bridges. Um, it's still a pretty funny sequel. The only problem is for me though, is that Leslie Nielsen is absent in this film. That's the only thing I like is yeah, because clear. Even William Shatner has an appearance in this as well. But yeah, that's the thing is that the only problem I have is that Leslie Nielsen is not present in this because I like Leslie Nielsen. May rest in peace. So yeah, but yeah, funny sequel, Airplane 2. Next, a film starring Keanu Reeves. That's all co-starring Morgan Freeman, which is a film that I think I would say is pretty decent because it also has a good cast to it. And it's from the director Andrew Davis of The Fugitive and Above the Law and Under Siege, Chain Reaction. Like I said, yeah, the guy from the directed Under Siege and Above the Law and The Fugitive. It's a decent film because I enjoy Keanu Reeves. A lot of people talk shit to him nowadays, though, which I'm sorry. I think he's a better actor than some others, though. Especially and I'm eager to. Speaking with Keanu Reeves, I'm anxious to check out the sequel, John Wick Chapter 2, because I love the first one. So I'll be anxious to check that out. Maybe not now, though, but maybe I'll wait a little bit, though. But I am anxious to check the film out, though. But Keanu Reeves, as also a good cast as well. There's like Morgan Freeman's in this, Rachel Weisz, who will later co-star with Keanu Reeves in Constantine. I love that film. You got Fred Ward, Earl Bassett from Tremors, Kevin Dunn, and Brian Cox. And he also got a score by Jerry Goldsmith. May rest in peace, my favorite music composer. I miss Jerry Goldsmith. So yeah. I think it's a decent film though, but it's not all too great. I'm not calling it perfect, but it's decent though. Next is another maybe we'll consider as a classic science fiction film, and has from the it's a remake, but a 1978 remake, and that is the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the one that stars Donald Sutherland, Jeff Goldblum, and of course the late Leonard Nimoy. Which you can see the cast right here on the back. There's Donald Sutherland in the middle. There's Jeff Goldblum. Of course, there is Leonard Nimoy. So yeah, the 70s remake of Invasion of Body Snatchers, and this is the special collector's edition that has features with a director, commentary with the director Philip Kaufman, Revisitors from Outer Space, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying or Love the Pod featurette. Practical Magic, the special effects pod featurette, the man behind the scream, the sound effects of the pod featurette, and the invasion will be televised, the cinematography pod featurette than the original trailer. So yeah, the collector's of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Next is a comedy that another comedy that I do enjoy, and is Galaxy Quest. This one I've been meaning to get through DVD for quite some time because I remember long ago I had on old VHS tape. But I enjoy Galaxy Quest, starring Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, and of course the late Alan Rickman, passed away last year, and co-starring Tony Shalhoub and Sam Rockwell. I always had fun with Galaxy Quest. So that's the next. Next is another original film. Of course, 2002 came out with a very shitty remake. This one stars James Caan, the original Rollerball. Always saw this a couple of times long ago. Always remember liking it. The brutality and the idea behind it. I saw the remake once years ago. And that was absolute other piece of garbage. This is way better. The original. The remake of this film should never have been made. Plus, I think it lacks the brutality of it. So, yeah. So that's the original Rollerball with James Caan. And the rest of the rest of these two older ones, they're both films that stars Michael Keaton. I'm a big fan of Michael Keaton, and I did see it's really quick with Michael Keaton. I did see his film The Founder, where about the founder of McDonald's. I'll get to that sometime, but I think Michael Keaton did give a good performance. I'll get to that some other time, though, but I'm just saying because I like Michael Keaton. But I got two films right here: a comedy film with him, and then a thriller film with him. The first one for the comedy film, The Dream Team, co-starring Christopher Lloyd, Peter Boyle, Stephen Furst. A good cast, especially with Christopher Lloyd and Peter Boyle. Having fun with the Dream Team. And this is a thriller film that stars him and Andy Garcia. Desperate Measures. Michael Keaton, he shows he can play a good bad guy. I think he was like the best part of the whole film. Andy Garcia, I like Andy Garcia, but the whole idea is okay because his son needs a transplant and he has to get an organ transplant, and he has to get it from the organ that's matched is Michael Keaton, who's a convict. And it's just funny that the whole idea is that people are dying, but he's doing all this just to save his son's life. But I think because the best part of the film definitely is the villainous performance by Michael Keaton. It shows he can play a good bad guy, like Pacific Heights. He was a good bad guy in that. And I'm looking forward to seeing his performance in as playing the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Don't mess with me, or I'll kill you and everybody you ever loved. Yeah. So yeah, two more films for the Michael Keaton collection. I love Michael Keaton. Great actor. And now again to a couple of some newer ones. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would probably don't like this film. And I can understand why. But I saw this film. To me, I think it's yeah. I get the whole idea though, but I think it's harmless. I know I understand why people don't like it, but to me, I think it's a harmless film. The story I think is harmless though for especially like a comedy or a family film. But 9 lives. But why, guy? Because for the cast, you got Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Gardner, and Christopher Walken. Which I like all three. I like all three actors. Yeah, the whole idea is that Kevin Spacey, he's like the cliche of the workaholic dad who does not spend time with his family, and he gets into an accident. He has an accident. Then he's while his body is hospitalized, his mind is in the body of a cat. And in the film, he's trying to get, oh, I'm me. I am in the cat, And Christopher Walken, he's the guy who owns the cat shop. He basically has this power to do this, and he's a cat whisperer. And he's the only one who has the ability to hear the person as the cat. So yeah. And it's from the director of Barry Sonnenfeld, the director of the Men in Black films. So yeah. I would say it's a harmless film. To me, I felt it's harmless. People who don't like it, I can understand that. But to me, I think that's the best way I could put it. It's a harmless film. It just, it's for a funny film, but a cat film. It's just harmless. I don't know what better word I can put it though. But the next one is, I think it was I got like one of my best films of 2016. I didn't have the DVD because it was probably still probably in theaters, so I'm not playing anymore. But finally got the DVD, and it's a great performance by Tom Hanks, Sully. I like Sully. It's a great film. I think it's a really good, well-made film directed by Clint Eastwood. Good performance. I would say great performance by Tom Hanks. Also co-starring Aaron Eckhart, who I enjoy, Laura Linney. The story about the captain who landed the plane in the Hudson River. Which actually, really enough, as I looked because I didn't do a video for the nominations of the Oscars, and oddly enough, I didn't see not a nomination for this film. Really enough, if not for Best Picture or Best Director, really enough. Which is kind of puzzling because when shortly after this film was released, they were saying there was some Oscar buzz around this film. I don't think it's not the case because I didn't see any Oscar nominations on the list for this film anywhere. Not even Best Director, not even Best Actor for Tom Hanks, or Best Picture. So yeah, I think it is worth it for enough. I think it's worth an Oscar, maybe for director by Clint Eastwood, or actor Tom Hanks. Especially all the praise it got. Gave him 4 stars right here, and Peter Tarr from Rolling Stone says Hanks and Eastwood are a dream team. But I don't know why this didn't get any Oscars. I don't even think I even recall getting nominations for Golden Globes either. So yeah, to me, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth a couple of Oscars, not a whole list, but I'm just saying worth a couple, especially for the ones like Best Actor Tom Hanks or directing by Clint Eastwood. If not Best Picture, because it looks like a film that could be nominated for Best Picture. But what do I know? But I like Sully. It was one of my favorite films of 2016. Great performance by Tom Hanks. I've always enjoyed as an actor. Top-notch directing by Clint Eastwood as usual. Okay, so as for the last thing, I got a complete series of a TV show. Some people are probably going to laugh at me for this, though, but I remember years ago as a kid, I saw a few episodes on TV, and I actually do remember not minding the show. But like I said, some people are going to laugh at me for this, but yeah. The complete series of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I know. Years ago as a kid, I saw a few episodes on TV, and I remember not minding them. Especially my favorite especially the main highlight for me was Salem the Talking Cat. He was the guy who was supposed to take over the world, and he got transformed into a black cat living with witches in the house. That's what as a kid I remember being the main highlight of the show was Salem the Talking Cat. But actually, yeah. But overall, yeah, I got the whole series, and it's brand new because it's still wrapped in plastic still. So, yeah, I'm a guy who actually kind of likes the Sabrina the Teenage Witch. But yeah, some people are gonna laugh at me for it, but I'm sure there's other guys like me that kind of likes the show too. So probably I'm not alone in that. So, but yeah. So that's the DVD update. So just recall again. Yeah, the series of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Sully, 9 Lives, Desperate Measures in the Dream Team, Rollerball, Galaxy Quest, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Chain Reaction, and Airplane 2 the sequel. So yeah, so it's been a while since I did a DVD update, a good one, so there you have it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.